faces. Share faces, boys. Yeah. We're smashing it up, aren't we? Big up Jason and Rosie on YouTube, man, from Barnhouse. Big up Ricky Clark.
Scotty B.
Big up Scotty D, man, in the place to be. Big up Jay Blackburn and Ross Burgess. Big up, give up Rossi. Big up, give up Brucey. Rocking it up. Big up the Dutch man. We're rocking this fucking manor. We're rocking the Langdon, man, aren't we? Yeah, man.
Come
big
down
up
to
Ricky
Langdon,
Clark.
you get fucked up and all that.
Big up the Black Widow. We're gonna get fucked up, boy.
Go on, Rainbow Jacket.
Yeah, Rainbow Jacket on the house show. We're gonna smash this place out. Gonna rinse it. Gonna rock it. Here we go. Gonna rock it, yo. In the place to be. We're gonna rock it. It's Fun MC. We're gonna rock it. Gonna take to the rocket to the moon. Gonna be back on the silver spoon, yo. Because we're rocking the place. We're gonna switch the place. Big up Rosie and JC. Big up Scotty D, yeah. Big up Ricky Corb in the house. Big up Briscoe.
Go bust the chat then,
Big
Dave.
up Scotty D in the place,
Bust
yo.
the chat then, Dave.
Don't come to my yard, yo, because you won't like what you're seeing. And you might not give you a see now. So don't come to my yard, hey. Even if you we're a thunderbolt, won't be coming home, yo. Rainbow Jack, where you been now? All the time, yo. Switch to the play show, on the play show. We're gonna rock this play show. It's far now, rocking that queue, yo. Big up Rosia, and JC, and Scotty D in the place to be. Because we're Barnell crew, Nowhere crew. We're rocking it, shucking it. We're gonna go somewhere. I don't know where. Go to the stars, go to the moon. Never know, we'll be back soon, yo.
Getting high on amphetamine and ecstasy, Dave. Bust it, Dave. Rainbow Jacket.
Rainbow Jack, where you been now? How's time, yo? You've been away so long, yo. At the nightclub. Getting on fire, amphetamine.
Right, we're wrapping up, Dave. Big up who you want to big up, and then we're wrapping up.
We're wrapping up. There's no go chatting up. Go chatting up my woman. Because I'll kill you with a knife. Don't come down, don't take my wife. I'll kill you, deal with my life. MC.
Top G, people wanna come and minus me. Everybody look at me, I'm a G. Why you mad at me? Cause I'm a G. Yeah, top G, people wanna come and minus me. Everybody look at me, I'm a G. Why you mad at me? Cause I'm a G. Yeah, top G's only. Too many phony, masculine homies. Females acting like they are holy. Ends up being lonely. No time for games, weightlifting games, betting some flames. Too many names, breaking their chains. Me busy switching lanes. Top G, people wanna come and minus me. Everybody look at me, I'm a G. Why you mad at me? Cause I'm a G. Yeah, top G, people wanna come and minus me. Everybody look at me, I'm a G. Why you mad at me? Cause I'm a G.
I'm coming for you, Matt. Get your guns out. Saggy Titch Matt Bar. Me and the Comics Gig Commandos are coming for you. That's all I got.
That's good, dude. That was great. Here we go, guys. I guess I am more important than I thought. Isn't that weird? I'm a Trump supporter. Yeah. So that I just, so you guys know what's going on. I'm not a criminal.
Legend, absolute legend. Don't you think?
You know.
And I want to say to Johnny Scab, this is for you. I did do a whole shot, just put a little bit in there. Johnny, thank you for all the work you do in CG. I saw too, yeah, thank you guys. I want to thank Johnny Scab for all the work he does in CG. Standing up to the bullies. being the bully's bully, let's just say, and scaring the shit out of Matt Barr. And I hope you succeed in your mission, Johnny Scab, and hail to you.
Yeah, like Johnny Scab is so cool.
He might have assaulted Dan Frega over a taco. But I understand.
A taco?
I understand Rob's point. I don't know if Rob knew that he was making a point, but I see his point. Okay, here's the story. And look, I might exaggerate something. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I've been told and what I've heard, and it's probably been recycled. I don't fucking know. But Rob, Dan, and several other people made a trip to like or El Taco or something like that for a lunch break.
There you are.
And this is when Rob was more volatile and young, dumb, full of cum. Yeah, they go to and order all these different tacos. Like Rob gets this taco, Dan gets this taco, the other guys get their own tacos, right? So Rob, they got a big old bag of tacos, and Rob has to run in for something. So Rob runs out into I don't know, the taco place, I guess. During that time, Dan Pansy Frega decides to reach randomly into a bag that has been filled with everybody's own tacos. He grabs one out at random. Now, you would think that any logical wise man using their brain would look at it and say, let me make sure this is my taco. You say, that's not my, hey, who ordered this? Here's a taco.
Right.
No, Dan grabbed a random taco out of the bag and bit it. And as he bit it, without checking it or testing it or opening it up or inspecting anything, not having any consideration for anybody else in that vehicle, he realized when he bit into that taco was Rob Liefeld's. You don't eat Rob Liefeld's fucking taco. And look, he might have got assaulted from that. He might have got berated in front of his peers for that. And I say, look, man, Rob at that time was 20, maybe 23, 24, 25 years old, making a lot of money. And maybe even at the point, this might even been closer to 95, 96, where everything's starting to wind down. He's looking at this office space. He's looking at people that are fucking off while he's trying to keep the work going for all these guys. And then he finds out his buddy Dan is out here just grabbing a random fucking taco, not inspecting it, not caring about whose taco he's biting into first. And as someone, like I was in the army, went into the army, and I understood that attention to detail matters. And why it matters? Why does it matter if you fuck up your bed? Because if you're fucking up your bed, or if you're fucking up any other of these minor things that mean absolutely nothing, if you're fucking those up, then you're probably fucking something else up that might be more important. So you're hitting it into their head, attention to detail. And there was zero attention to detail when Dan Frega just randomly bit into a taco, which could have been anybody in that vehicles. He didn't care. He didn't care because it's Dan Frega's world and everybody else is just living in it.
I was sat outside on my doorstep in Brixton, and some people thought I was homeless.
Here's Johnny.
Hello, you beautiful lot. How you doing tonight?
Johnny Scab, he speaks the truth. Voice for the kids, no excuse. Scab leads and strong and loud. We're the misfits, we're the crowd. On the screen he shows the way. Screw the rules, we won't obey. World's gone mad, but we stand tall. Scab Cast fans will never fall. Rise up, Scab Nation. Johnny's voice of the frustration. Fuck wokeness, it's a fight. In the chaos, we're the light. Fuck. We're the light. On the screen, he shows the way. Through the rules we won't obey. World's gone mad, but we stand tall. Scab Cast fans will never fall. Rise up, Scab Nation. Johnny's voice of our frustration. Fuck wokeness, it's a fight. In the chaos, we're the light. Throw aside your fear and doubt. Let your inner fire shout. March together with belief. Johnny's words bring our relief. Rise up, Scab Nation. Johnny's voice of our frustration. Fuck wokeness, it's a fight. In the chaos, we're the light. The light. We won't bow, we won't break. In Johnny's name we reawake. Scab Cast warriors unite. In this journey we ignite. We ignite. We're the light. We won't break. We won't break. We won't bow, we won't break. In Johnny's name we reawake. Scab Cast warriors unite. In this journey we ignite. Ignite. We're the light. 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 We won't bow. We won't break. In Johnny's name, we reawake. Scab Cast warriors unite. In this journey, we ignite. Won't bow. We won't bow. We won't bow. We won't break. We won't bow. We won't break. In Johnny's name, we reawake. Scab Cast warriors unite. And inside we ignite. And ignite. We won't break.
Good evening, you beautiful lot. How you doing? Thank you for tuning in. You're amazing, lot, aren't you? First of all, straight up, I've got to say fucking hell, thank you, Bob. 5 memberships gifted. You lot are lucky, ain't you? Thank you, Bob. That's amazing. Love Bob Rogers. She's awesome. Thank you, everyone, tuning in tonight. As you can see, I've got my Kansas City Chiefs jumper on. Wishing them luck. It's probably one of the best teams in America, I think. I've always liked them. I'm going to put the link in the chat tonight, everyone, if anyone wants to come in. I'm in quite a happy mood. Let me just try and get the link up. I'll put it out on Twitter as well. I was hoping some randoms might come in, some weirdos. I might get some like random people coming to have a go at me or something. You're welcome. I welcome all. I welcome all on Scab Cast. I've also got a little backup story I was going to show you later about the Mole Man. I don't know if you ever heard of him. The Mole Man of Hackney, he's called. He was a Londoner. Well, he wasn't born in London, but he was Irish, I think. Last time it was on Twitter. What's that? Last time it was on Twitter, Mint Salad came in. Now, I invited Mint Salad. She didn't just take that off of Twitter. I actually sent her the link personally because I wanted her on the Christmas show. Yeah, I actually personally invited her. She didn't just jump on that one. She's actually quite a nice person. We've had quite a lot of chats. And if you're very lucky, if you're all very kind to Uncle Johnny, I might have an amazing show for you at the end of the month. If you all Put your hands together and keep your fingers crossed. Courtesy of Mint Salad, actually. She's helping me organise it. In Scab we trust. In Scab we trust. Thank you, Grey Cloudy Day. For those of you that don't know, Grey Cloudy Day is one of my good friends. He's got 2 channels. He's got Grey Cloudy Day and Grey Cloudy Day's Thoughts. Go and give him a little sub. He's interesting man. He's an interesting man. He talks a lot of interesting things. He's got a cute dog. Just had lots of puppies. He does vlogs and updates. It's interesting. Sauce. You said that. What was your message? Hello, little big brother. I don't know how to take that one. I don't know. Are we related? We probably could be. I wouldn't be surprised. My dad was a bit of a shagger. Dogs in vlogs, yeah. Grey Cloudy Day, he's a gentleman. He always supports me. He always comes on my videos and bigs them up. And that's what you need, isn't it? A bit of the algorithms. A few likes, a few comments. Yeah, for those of you that don't know about the Mole Man is a very eager. Oh, thank you, Nick. Nick has shared our Grey Cloudy Days channel. See, that's a proper moderator right there. Hint. It's a proper moderator. Adam Webber does it now and again. He shares links. And so does Cammy when she's in. And I've seen a few others. But yeah, come on. Let's share some more links, people. Wolfpack for life. Yeah, I subbed to your second channel, Cloudy Day. Grey Cloudy Day's Thoughts. It's interesting. Nick's a good chap as well. Nick the Bastard. Proper punk name, that is. Yeah, don't worry, Dark Mind. You're an interesting artist in your own right. You've made a few memes of me and stuff, haven't you? And some songs and stuff. I'm a big fan. You're welcome, Grey Cloudy Day. Adam Webber. No, yeah, I understand. Don't worry. I ain't having a go at you. Yeah, I'll Barb sharing them. Look. I know everyone can't do links. I'm only joking. Don't take it personally. Oh, here he is. The wrench collector. Yeah, Seven. Come on. You could at least post a link to your video for me, couldn't you? Your little video you posted on YouTube. And chuck one of mine in there now and again. He's the only guy that I'm allowing to be a moderator that I know is blatantly just here because he collects wrenches. I don't mind 7 and 9 though. He's funny. A lot of people take him the wrong way. A lot of people take me the wrong way. That's why I get along with people like that. Our humour just goes over people's heads sometimes. They don't know if we're serious or if we're trolling or what. Have they started the Super Bowl over there yet? Have they actually started the game? I can't watch it here. It might be later on. Hello, we got one of my very close brothers here again. How you doing, Mr. Self-Destruct?
Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen, friends and lovers.
Do you know if the Super Bowl game started yet?
It should be like 2 more hours or something.
All right.
I don't really keep up with football. I prefer soccer to football.
Fair enough. I just thought you might have knew, like, because it's quite a big thing over there. I thought you probably know the time of it at least. How you been anyway, mate? You all right?
I'm all good. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I liked your comment at the beginning about wearing a suit for mailing. That's very true.
Yeah, it kind of stands out, you know. And I mean, of course, I noticed your nice little vest type deal, you know.
Yeah, I wasn't wearing a tie or nothing. I got to be fair to Dr. Ben. He did put a bit of effort in on that show.
That's Dr. Ben's court outfit, you know.
I got no hard feelings against him. Whatever happened with him and Patrick, that's fair enough. They don't like each other. I don't agree with him. If it's true, I don't agree with him threatening Pat. But I'm not really involved in it. I don't know what's gone on. So, at the end of the day, I still talk to both parties. I got no hard feelings. If Ben ever wants to come back on this show, he's welcome.
Yeah, I won't bog down your stream with any kind of bullshit trauma. I did get got a new phone, and
nice.
Signed into YouTube, and I want to go to gallery. Signed into YouTube, and this is one of the things I was talking about. It's like I'm looking through a bunch of, just scrolling, right? It's an outdoor video, and it's like explore more topics. Can't even read that shit, can you? Explore more topics. Island life adventure, religious commentary. Want to try it?
Oh, sorry, hang on. Yeah.
It's very blurry.
Yeah, just about. It's that bit out of focus, but yeah.
Island
What's that? Is that on YouTube? Is it like recommendations?
Yeah. Well, I just took a screenshot of it because it was ridiculous. It was like from what I normally view, right? I was just scrolling through, and it's like explore more topics: island life adventure, religious commentary, Comicsgate drama, or cooking with family. I'm like, I would select anything before I select Comicsgate drama.
Yeah.
I'm done.
It's everywhere anyway, isn't it? Every Comicsgate show you see, they all talk about the drama on it. I think that's why people like watching them most of the time. There's not many. There's not many fun Comicsgate shows left, really, now.
No, I don't think. Well, there's a lot we don't see. Well, I don't know. Did you catch Ballers at all?
Bowlers, what, the last one with old Granny Mandy?
Oh my God! Yeah, she got pissed. She got pissed when Ethan said, "Mandy, you look good for 56." The week before.
Yeah, I watched that one when Mandy went, and then I watched the one after where she came back as an old lady. She like transformed,
transitioned.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my. Okay, there's this TV show. I think it's called Mama's House or something.
Yeah.
I think that was the character she was doing.
Someone, I think it was you actually, wasn't it? You posted like a GIF under a thing. Someone did. 58, says Grey Cloudy Day. Mandy ain't 58, is she? She can't be. I'd say like Mandy's got to be.
That was the joke, is that she was up
mid
upset.
to late 30s at the most. Probably like in maybe 40. Like I wouldn't put her up with like the 50s.
Well, she's got like 2 kids or something, and all that, No, but that was Ethan's joke. Is Mandy
I know.
58 or 56, whatever he said.
Ethan
and then
is the ultimate
she just bailed
troll,
on the
isn't
stream.
A lot of people don't get Ethan's humour. He's the troll king. He says whatever he wants.
She was already kind of out. She was already kind of out with it because, the Japanese girl, who's probably like 30 something herself, right? She was getting a lot of attention.
Yeah. No, I think Mandy handles it well. I don't think she's actually took it personally. It's just a joke on her side as well.
Like, what can I irritate these guys with? No more cleavage, guys.
Yeah, she'll make you regret calling her old now. She'll just wear loads of old granny dresses.
Ethan ruined it for us, guys.
Have you ever heard of the Mole Man, Mr. Self-Destruct? In England, there was a guy called the Mole Man.
I believe I have, because I was, associating with some British people late 2000s, early 2010. But no, I can't recall entirely. What is this?
He's like he was a guy that lived in London, and he had this old like house that was falling apart, and he wouldn't let the government come and look at it. Like, they kept sending him letters saying that he had to fix it up, and he just sort of like fortified his house. And he started digging all these tunnels out from under his basement, and they stretched right across London, like in all different directions, like at least like 30 or 40 meters. And the streets above it around his house ended up having like sinkholes and stuff.
Oh, I'm sure.
He tunneled all this shit. I've got a video about it here. There's a guy doing a documentary. I'll chuck it on. It's not that long. It's quite interesting.
I like the music.
If you had travelled to Hackney in East London in the late 2000s...
Hackney, just so you know as well, Hackney in London is very close to where I live. It's in the same, what you'd call it, like a county, like the county of Lambeth is in the same county.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
I'll try and speed it up a little bit, just in case whoever this is tries copywriting striking me. I'll speed it up a bit. Fuck off. Come on. What's going on? Yeah.
You might have come across the house at number 121 Mortimer Road. The building was derelict. Large cracks were visible in the brickwork beneath paint that had long since peeled off. The whole thing was kept up by scaffolding, and a notice posted outside read "Dangerous structure, keep out," by order of the district surveyor. People said that the man who had lived here had dug tunnels beneath his house, and that these tunnels spread beneath the local area in manifold directions and for unknown distances. Due to his proclivity for digging, he was known as the Mole Man, a name that still evokes feelings of consternation and curiosity among local people, and whose motives remain shrouded in mystery. This is the story of the Hackney Mole Man. William Little was born in Donegal, Ireland in 1931. Not much is known about his early life, except that he studied at Queen's University in Belfast and afterwards worked as an electrical engineer for the Bristol Aeroplane Company. At some point in the 1960s, perhaps after the company ceased operations in 1966, Little relocated to London with his wife, purchasing a detached Victorian house in between the Dalston and the Beauvoir areas of Hackney. For the next 4 decades, Little lived a relatively quiet life on Mortimer Road, the only outward sign of his eccentricity being the strange alterations he began making to the property. According to the derelict London website, he used to put extensions onto the house made of corrugated iron and window frames and let them out to foreign students. He extended the loft by taking slates off and putting in windows to raise the ceiling height. He filled the garden with derelict cars. One of the students who rented out a room with Little, a man called Mark Pawson, would later recount his experiences. I came to university in 1982, the City University. The second year, I lived in Dalston, Mortimer Road. William Little, the so-called Mole Man, was my landlord. It was the first time I'd ever had to look for rented accommodation. I had no idea what to expect. I didn't know what rented houses were like. Mortimer Road didn't seem that odd to me. I was sharing with a friend of mine from my hometown. She was a music student. The house actually had a piano in it. That was the selling point.
So-called Mole Man.
We went around to see the room. The landlord had been doing it up. It was wallpapered with newspaper, unpainted newspaper.
Imagine having to talk about that to someone. I used to live in the Mole Man's house.
Yeah, well, imagine they come interviewing you and they're just harassing
Obviously,
you.
the whole scheme was
We heard you lived in the Mole Man's house.
watched. Home done.
How much was it?
My room was a big, regular, rectangular space looking out on Mortimer Road. There were 3 floors and then the basement. The floors were let out in various combinations. At the back was a little private area. William had done it all himself. I think the rent was £25 a week, quite cheap at the time. We paid cash.
Wow.
There was this little V-shaped garden at the back. He had a patio door into his room from there. If you went down to see him, he would come to the door. You would never get inside. He used to cook outrageously stinky meat stew that you could smell upstairs. It really did smell like dog food. Foul. I hate to think what was in it. He was Irish, but age was difficult. He was such a wiry thing. He had short, fuzzy hair. It was always grey. We never knew if it was dust or if he actually had grey hair. Everybody called him Catweasel because he looked like Catweasel, the television character. He hadn't achieved Mole Man status. Not then. I got the feeling he'd been there for ages. He wasn't very talkative. There had been a wife and daughter at some point. I know that because there used to be a fair amount of mail for them. We speculated about their fate, especially.
No, I was going to ask you to pull it up after this or something. This is
yeah, I will. I'll try and find it
foreign
now.
to me, but just the name sounds crazy. Like, you know, in America we have cat dog and all kinds of retarded shit.
It was a British TV program.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Good. It's Cat Weasel images. It was like a weird how can I explain him? Like a travelling hobo, I guess.
Okay. There have been a lot of characters like that, where they have the a stick over their shoulder with a picnic cloth, right? Full of all their stuff.
But this guy was quite he was quite horrible looking. Hang on. He had a lot of prosthetics on and stuff. Here he is. You see the guy there?
Oh, it's a real guy.
Yeah, he was an actor. Yeah, it wasn't a cartoon. It was like a sort of like.
Damn.
A real TV program.
So is he kind of like a bad guy or like a chaotic element?
Cat Weasel's a goodie, sort of.
All right.
But yeah, he's a rough-looking hobo man. Let's get that back up. Here we are.
When William started digging. After I moved out, I used to see him at the Valence Road Boot Fair. He never acknowledged me. I nodded, but he never looked in my direction. He had a tiny light blue Triumph push bike. He pushed it all the way around the boot fair. He was looking for tools and second-hand nails. Pawson's account gives us a glimpse into Little's general character, old, eccentric, and somewhat antisocial, with an enthusiasm for amateur home improvement, and, of course, digging. This habit had started earnestly when Little began making small adjustments to his basement. He would later tell Ian Sinclair that, "I thought I'd try for a bit of a wine cellar, and found a taste for the thing." From this point onwards, Little would gradually construct a network of tunnels that extended beneath his house. He worked for decades on this underground project, which remained completely unknown and unobserved. In 2001, the pavement outside William Little's house on the adjacent Stamford Road collapsed. This opened up an 8-foot hole in the street that offered local people a glimpse into the world that had been constructed below. Told The Guardian that you could see all the tunnels sprawling out all over the place inside. It was crazy. The sinkhole on Stamford Road was the first in a series of events that brought the Mole Man's tunnels to public attention. In 2003, the power of the opposite street was one day terminated when Little made contact with a 450-volt cable 3 meters beneath the ground. 3 years later, in 2006, large cracks began appearing on Stamford Road, this time in the middle of the street, directly beneath the wheels of passing cars. This apparent structural damage antagonised the council. Stamford Road was, at this point, part of a bus route.
7 of 9 says, what did he
Good question.
do with all the dirt? I don't know if he mentions it in this documentary, but I watched another one and they said that he was just slowly filling up his front and back garden with it because he had these higher walls that surrounded his house. He was like making the level of his garden higher.
Was that 7
a
of 9
bit like
who did
Andy Dufresne, like slipping it out now and again, just chucking it out into the world.
Was that 7 of 9 who did a backflip the other day on Twitter or something?
He's trying to. He's
Cartwheel.
He's done one before. Like last year, he did one into a swimming pool, but he's practicing his gymnastics to do it on his 60th birthday.
Yeah, okay. Keep it up, sir.
Yeah, do it. I'm gonna make him a special video, like celebrating it.
Leading the number 76 bus up from Englefield Road to the larger thoroughfare of Kingston Road. And Sue Webster later recalled that they rerouted the 76 bus. They thought that people would be standing there waiting for the bus, and under the weight of it, it was going to collapse, and everybody at the bus stop was going to sink into a sinkhole. According to one newspaper, council officials claimed that, despite the gradual decay, they had been powerless to act as it was private property. However, the council now had evidence that the Mole Man's activities posed a danger to the public, and began seeking a court order to secure the property, with Philip Willman, a council surveyor, telling Thames Magistrates Court that he's fortunate a London bus is not in his front garden. The property is dangerous and liable to flooding. The increased attention from Hackney Council made William Little something of a local celebrity, and a series of journalists descended on Mortimer Road to try and get an interview with the infamous Mole Man. One writer from The Guardian spoke to Little outside his house, who explained that, "I first tried to dig a wine cellar, and then the cellar doubled, and so on. But the idea that I dug tunnels underneath other people's houses is rubbish. I just have a big basement. It's gone down deep enough to hit the water table. That's the lowest you can go." Perhaps the most intimate glimpse into the mole man's life was afforded in this period to a local artist called Karen Russo. Russo later described how, I first heard about Mole Man in 2006 when I was researching the psychogeography of underground environments in London. As an artist, I was amazed to discover the similarities between the thinking of Little and that of the average artist, the creation of things that don't work or have a functional value.
Even though the Mole Man's the most well-known one in our history, there's actually a lot of homeless people that live in the tunnels under London. It's a bit like New York, I guess. They must have like sewer systems and stuff where they get in, and
There's
old
a lot of
Roman
tunnels
sewer
around here,
systems.
too.
You don't really see it, but in most big British cities, there's probably a big underground homeless community that lives under the sewers. It sounds really creepy.
Yeah, or it could just be waterways, you know, that are, what do you call them, you know, specifically built for floods, you know, storm drain exits into.
When I was homeless in Manchester, they got a lot of canals, and they got like the tunnels under the canals, and you used to get homeless people staying in there because, believe it or not, it was like warm. Like if you stayed right by the canal in a tunnel, that the air became warm in the tunnel.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, 79 posting another video Monday. We'll keep an eye out, 7.
And the obsession involved in the act of making, I decided to track him down and find out more about him. Little allowed Russo into the property and permitted her to take photos of the interior. These offer an incredibly revealing window into the Mole Man's tunnel system. The images show subterranean areas of the house that are filled with various objects, ranging from usual household items like sofas and bathtubs to tangled webs of cables and wiring. These objects all appear jumbled and confused, mixed together without any apparent coherence and lacking any obvious usage or purpose. In one photo, we get a sense of the distance and complexity of the tunnels, with the pathway ahead fading into darkness, while a hole in the floor below presumably leads to another, deeper underground passage. Russo's visit also revealed a darker side to the Mole Man's character. She later wrote that, though flattered by my interest, the Mole Man proved to be extraordinarily difficult to work with. He was extremely racist, misogynistic, and paranoid, was only interested in talking about my sex life. I soon realised that the sexual overtones of our relationship went to overtake.
Pervy Mole Man. Little pervy Mole Man. Soon realised that the sexual overtones of our relationship.
Well, yeah, he ain't had none in a while. You know, he's been busy digging, you know.
Yeah.
Encounter with this eccentric and aggressive man ended in violence against me, and I subsequently decided to end the project. However, the photographic record I was left with provides a tantalising glimpse into the inaccessible world of the unconscious, and raises intriguing questions about the relationship between artist and subject, and the elusiveness of the documentary process itself. The local council won their court order in August of 2006. Shortly afterwards, Little, who was now the sole tenant of the property, was evicted while it was inspected by engineers. They discovered over 10 tunnels spreading out in every direction beneath the house. Some of these were up to 20 feet deep and nearly 60 foot long. Strange objects were hidden within the passageways. One newspaper reported that they found skiploads of junk, including the wrecks of 4 Renault cars, a boat, scrap metal, old baths, fridges, and dozens of TV sets stashed in the tunnels. The council officials decided to fill the tunnels with cement to secure the streets above them. The house itself, which they deemed dangerously unsound, was going to be kept up by a frame of scaffolding. A fence was also put up around the property to keep out local teenagers and urban explorers. The cost of rehabilitating the building, estimated to be around £100,000, was billed to Mr. Little, who had since been rehoused into a nearby council flat. For the next few years, the Mole Man's house was preserved in a strange limbo. Scaffolding kept the building up, though it was deemed too dangerous for council workers or independent surveyors to enter. The tunnels remained unfilled.
7 of 9 feels sorry for the Mole Man. That he's saying, leave that man alone. Leave the Mole Man alone. He's our friend.
Just standing up for the people, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, oh man.
That
would take so much to dig. So much energy.
Yes,
so much,
Dennis. It's a guy who made loads of tunnels under his house and collapsed the street in. Scarlet Fever, what's up, everyone? How you doing, Scarlet?
What's up?
Everyone in the chat. The link is in the chat if anyone wants to pop in. It's a free-for-all tonight. How are you all doing?
By the high fence which surrounded the property kept potential interlopers away. All that is, except the Mole Man himself. At some point, Little had started to re-enter the property, managing to slip through a gap in the corrugated fencing and reoccupy the tunnels beneath. The council eventually found out about this, and in 2008, the High Court banned Little from going near the property. He was also ordered to pay an enlarged list of repair costs, amounting to nearly £300,000. William Little died 2 years later, in June 2010. He was 79 years old. Little's death left the council with a bill of more than £400,000, comprised of unpaid fines and the cost of his rehousing. When council workers cleared out Little's replacement flat on the de Beauvoir estate, they uncovered more evidence of his tunnelling habits. Despite being on the 6th floor, the flat was found to contain small holes in the walls and floorboards. Some connected adjacent rooms, while others burrowed out towards the exterior of the building, forming small gaps where the outside world was made visible. Over time, the mysterious topography of the Mole Man's tunnels gradually came.
He was blatantly a bit of a peeper, wasn't he? I bet he had like secret spy holes looking into people's basements.
He got it. But you know, there were these people who were
However,
digging
the meaning
tunnels
and purpose
in
of
New
the
York.
enterprise have still never been discovered. We might, therefore, speculate on his possible motives. Mr. Little once joked that he had been digging for a local bank to rob it, but when I arrived, it had turned into a wine bar. Other times, he would speak about his underground project in very casual, matter-of-fact terms. Tunnelling, he told a journalist in 2006, is something that should be talked about without panicking. People ask what the big secret is, and you know what? There isn't one. The implication was that extensive tunnel building was not so different from other forms of home improvement, like putting up some shelves or building a shed in the back garden. The truth, however, may be slightly more complicated. Karen Russo, the artist who Little allegedly assaulted in 2006, associated his compulsive burrowing with Freudian psychosexual repression, writing that his elusive subterranean behaviour, in many ways like that of an actual mole, and his obsession with tunnels was the ultimate Freudian manifestation. This is something that a Freudian psychiatrist would likely agree with. In Freud's dream theory, certain objects symbolize sex or genitals. These symbols include tunnels and caves. And
he was digging tunnels because it reminded him of vaginas.
Yeah, that's what they would argue. Freudians are very weird.
Everything is Freudian.
Like, look at that rocket. That's Elon Musk penis envy, or something, right? Not envy. What am I saying?
Freudian psychiatrists might, therefore, interpret the Mole Man's obsession with tunnelling as an external manifestation of repressed sexual urges. Alternative interpretations of the Mole Man can be taken from similar historical examples. Lord John Bentinck, the 5th Duke of Portland, was perhaps the greatest burrower of the 19th century, having built a network of underground tunnels beneath his estate at Welbeck Abbey. The Duke lived a very isolated life. He was said to rarely leave his estate, never invited anybody to his home. The workers hired to construct his subterranean projects were told that they should not acknowledge his presence, not even look at him. The one worker that tipped his hat to his employer was fired immediately. For Bentinck, the underground world represented a place of invisibility where he could no longer be seen. Little also displayed antisocial behaviour, although not as severe as the Duke. Perhaps he too found comfort in being concealed beneath the ground. Moving back further in time, we can detect something deeply primal in the impulse to dig tunnels. The great writers of antiquity, Plato, Homer, and Herodotus, have described the underground world as a place of dream and hallucination. Most of the great religions have built temples and shrines beneath the surface of the earth, and Peter Ackroyd has written that 16,000 years ago, the wandering peoples of Europe lived in or beside the entrances to caves. They painted frescoes in the deeper and darker spaces of the caverns. Healing wells and places of worship lie beneath the streets. It is a haven from the outside world. It is a refuge from attack. The catacombs of Rome protected the early Christians. Like a mother, the lower deep may have a warm embrace. The house on Mortimer Road gradually changed in the years after William Little's death. At some point, the roof was pulled off due to structural concerns. Later, somebody installed an unofficial blue plaque on the building, commemorating Little's residence there. The council eventually filled the tunnels with concrete, just like they had planned to in 2006. Many objects were left down in the caverns during this process. We can imagine them now, the subterranean hoards, collected over decades. Parts of vehicles, furniture, tools, mementos, and rubbish. Entombed in solidified concrete beneath the ground.
It's a bit like Fallout.
In 2012, the plot of land was bought by two artists, Sue Webster and Tim Noble, for £1.2 million. They subsequently hired architect David Adjaye to build on the site. In an interview, Webster described how, "My architects and the building contractors said it would be much cheaper to pull the thing down and then rebuild it brick by brick. But I said no, I want to keep the history. For me, it would have lost the legacy of the Mole Man." Although Webster's decision to retain the physical history of the building is admirable, the evolution of the Mole Man's house into an expensive regeneration project is fairly typical of the general restructuring of the local area, a place that is increasingly defined by high prices, high rents, and high-rise commercial construction. The whole district is steered forward by a monolithic drive towards lucrative urban development that has no place for strange eccentrics like the Hackney Mole Man. Like the sinkholes that once formed around Stamford Road, the physical memory of the place is reclaimed by the ground.
Well, there you have it. The Mole Man.
In the end, it's all reclaimed by the earth. That was cool. That was cool.
It was pretty cool, wasn't it? I remember hearing about that. I remember when it actually happened. I remember it being in the papers, in the news.
So
7 of 9. You live on a farm, don't you? You got like lots of land. You should start digging tunnels like the Mole Man. You could be the CG Mole Man. They have like an underground lair, like a super
name might be
villain.
taken.
Yeah, probably. Be fun though, wouldn't it?
There's lots of moles. No, I have this idea. I don't know if I got this from a TV show or some crap, right? But it's like you get this property, right? Just some properties, and have some tractors come in and take out, just excavate, right? Just excavate so many feet in, and then you pull in about 2 or ever how many cargo ship containers, you know, those giant ones, and then you weld them together at your, you know, at your leisure, right? And it could be a fallout shelter, it could be a, you know, a hostile type situation, or you trap people in there, and I don't know, but it could be everything you want it to be.
Yeah.
Your imagination is your limitation.
I'd love, yeah. If I had like unlimited funding, like a millionaire or a billionaire, I'd build some amazing places. I'd build like big fallout shelters, like just for the public and stuff. Start my own sort of like Voltec corporation. Maybe experiment on people.
Yeah, exactly.
In a good way. In a good way, like statistically.
It has to be some bad to be mostly good.
They didn't say what he did with the dirt in that one.
Yeah.
I watched one before. I think it was Count Dankula. He does a more in-depth version of that. You should look it up. The Mole Man. And I think he said that he was just scattering it around outside his house. So it was slowly like taking up his garden. He didn't have any sort of...
I heard that same thing about some person who was, you know, who was excavating something underneath their house or underneath some shed or something. They're like, we didn't know this was happening all this time. That they were hiding a body or several bodies. And I think it was in Britain, you know, where it's highly CCTV, right? Just everywhere. So these guys would take pockets full of sand. I mean, dirt, right? And then they would, you know, as they're walking, they would pull out their pockets and empty the dirt as they go. And I'm like, how many trips that would take to do that? But hey, the determination of the British people is beyond me. And that bit towards the end is like 16,000 years ago, these roaming Europeans and such. And that's what you were talking about a long ass time ago, like the Druids and such, right?
Yeah.
Like,
well, the British,
that's amazing,
the original.
You know?
Yeah, we got thousands of years of history here. It was kind of, we started with the Picts, which were like even older than the Celts. The Picts were our native sort of like Neanderthal people that would like, they go run around naked and paint themselves blue. We got someone in the back room, and then the Romans came, and the Celts. The Romans came and then got chased away, and they came back again. There was like 2 eras of Romans in Britain. There's a lot of history to it.
That's a whole interesting story.
How you doing, Cloudy?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. How y'all doing?
Great.
Do what?
How's your dog doing? She all right?
She's on the front porch right now.
Did she recover?
I had to get up
from her pregnancy?
Well, yeah. She took one of the puppies. I was cleaning the air. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, fine.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just on my phone, but I was cleaning the area that I've got the puppies, you know, like that's in my room. I haven't moved them out yet to another spot, and I had them in the living room. And I was about to start putting them back in there. I turned around. She had one of them in her mouth. And I thought I caught her. I stopped her. But when I moved all the other pups, like I ended up moving them in there and I only had 8 of them. So one was missing. I was like, so I had a little adventure today. You know, had to take a panel off the trailer. And I didn't mean to interrupt y'all's.
No, so she didn't eat it, right?
No, she was worried because I moved the puppies in the living room and she just was kind of like, it was throwing her off. And I guess while I was in the middle of the cleaning, she was going to start moving them and go under the trailer with them. I'm glad I did catch her before she took any more. But thankfully my neighbor's grandson is still, you know, he's like 9 or 10 years old. So he's smaller. I ended up having him because they weren't under there. It wasn't under there real far. So it was easy for him to crawl up in there and get it.
Yeah. So, yeah. No, I've had dogs. I had Dalmatians for a while when I was growing up and such. And, you know, what happened was some mutt jumped the fence, right? He smelled the female Dalmatian we had in heat. He jumped the fence and we got a bunch of puppies out of that, but then we got a male Dalmatian purebred and we weren't trying to sell the dogs or anything, but you know, just to give them away to, you know, specific people, right?
Yeah, I got to start thinking. I took some pictures today. I got to try to and then, you know, they're not old enough really technically now, but they're 3 weeks old. So I've got to start, I got to start putting the word out and try to find people that want them. I can't keep them. I can't keep 9 puppies.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of money in dog breeding over in England. Like people charge a lot of money for puppies over here, especially if they're like healthy and well bred.
I'm not a big fan of, I mean, if people breed them, you know, there's a lot of story. I just hate the stories when there's a lot of people that get into breeding dogs and they don't really. Have you ever seen cases where they busted those breeding factories where they basically just treat the female dogs like nothing and just use them to pump out more puppies. And I'm not that everybody does that. You know, I've known some good breeders. Sorry, y'all.
Puppy mills, it's terrible.
Yeah, some people treat animals horrifically. Like I did about a year volunteering with the RSPCA a couple of years back. That's like the Animal Protection Agency over here. And you have to go and take a lot of animals off of their owners because they're just neglecting them. Like they don't feed them and they use them for fighting and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's disgusting, some of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but people are animals sometimes, you know. So, you know, it's one of our jobs as decent people to be stewards, right? Be stewards of the animals and the earth, right?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean that you just,
Yeah, to an extent.
I mean, I'm no, but, oh, man. Johnny, I saw, you know what was funny? You came in, remember I was live, earlier this week or last week? Because today's the beginning of the new week.
Yeah, you were drumming.
A few days ago. Yeah, you came in and like you said something and then I seemed to have some trouble or something and I had to end it because it seemed like the chat wasn't working or I was having some kind of trouble. I don't know. Because you came in, I seen you pop in there and I kind of I threw your name out like while I was playing. I was trying to improv just make up something, you know.
Yeah, it was cool.
So,
did someone post your YouTube link?
Yeah, they've somebody posted I think a second channel. My main channel is the channel I'm coming from right now. Like this is the main channel, Great Cloudy Day.
Yeah, I can just.
But I have a second channel, and I hope to. Anyway, I don't want to be taking any. I don't want to be talking so much and stuff.
It's all right. Yeah. It's all right, mate. Honestly, it's fine. You're one of the lads. You're welcome on here. Talk about what you want. I was going to ask you actually. Did you play any instruments? Like, are you actually a drummer, or was that just like jamming and messing around?
I thought, you just might not remember, like when we first started talking to each other a little bit on X and Twitter, it was discussed because I seen a time or two when you had your guitar. Remember, didn't you play guitar sometimes? There was one time I tried to, because you'd seen me beating on the bucket and stuff, but I used to play drums. I mean, I can play drums. I just don't have a drum set. I'm not like some, and I was in a couple of bands in the 90s and stuff,
Yeah, I love the bucket stuff, just from seeing stuff in real life. I'm like, I mean, it just blows you away how creative some people can be. This bucket is an inch smaller, right? But makes a totally different sound.
Well, I've just been messing around with it for the past little while. Like I've been like just messing around with it because I've kind of just had a hankering to like be creative musically again. And like I actually have a drum set, but it's in North Carolina. It's not a good drum set. I don't have like a hi-hat to it, but I had like 4 pieces and a ride cymbal. And it's still in the basement of somebody's house, but I don't drive, so I ain't been back to North Carolina since I came here.
So you from there, or where are you from?
No, I'm from Tennessee. I live in Alabama now, and then I ended up anyway. I came from there, from North Carolina, by kind of just chance. Came here. I intended on going back to North Carolina, but I just never did.
Yeah.
I've been here about 5.5 years. But yeah.
Is that
what I was saying, Johnny? Huh? Go ahead.
Yes, in the southern states, isn't it, Carolina? That's down south.
Yeah, I hadn't really ever lived outside of the South, because I'm from Tennessee. I lived in New Orleans on the streets for a little while in like 99. Then, I did North Carolina, Alabama now and stuff. So not that I wouldn't live somewhere else.
I always say I think I prefer the Southern America. Southern states. It just seems a lot less stressful. The people look a bit more chilled out down there. When I see videos of like New York, Chicago, it's just too much like London for me. It's too many people.
Yeah, those are giant cities, and what we have here is just some big cities, which get very depersonalized, right?
Yeah.
You can see a lot of bad stuff going on just left and right.
I'd say in the South, the bigger place you're at is probably going to be worse. Like just about anywhere, if you're more in a rural, like I'd say even in England, if you were in more of a rural area and not in a more, if you're not in a big town or something, you're probably going to find it a little better. I've always been more keen to like a place that's more country like anyway, but I like cities. I wouldn't think I'd like, you know what I mean? I've only lived in a city when I was on the streets. I've never actually rented anywhere or owned a place and lived legitimately in a town, like a big city. So like if I had the money and could move somewhere, I might, but
yeah.
I'd love to live out in the country. I live in a really big part of the city, and it's just horrible. I hate too many people around. I want a little field with a hut in it. That'd do. A little log cabin or something.
So I heard you saying that you're just pretty much done with all the CG drama, Mr. Destruct there, Mr. Self-Destruct.
Yeah, look, I mean, to my point, I think Ethan's the only one who can pull it off with any kind of charisma. If you've caught any of his, Trash Cast, streams, it's like, he said he's making like $3,000 a month. That's paying the bills, and he's got his sick wife, and it's like he's making entertainment. But And it is entertaining to some extent. But yeah, look, yeah, that's what I was asking last week. Yeah, where's Apple Pitch? Where's he gone?
Yeah, I still haven't.
No, it
heard
was
from
last
him.
Wednesday that I was like, man, this stuff is not for me. It's too much drama. I was trying to say like, Comicsgate needs an enema. You know, we need to get this shit
I'm
out.
going to try
We need to stop.
messaging. I'm going to try messaging Apple Pitch because I am pretty worried, to be honest. My last show, someone asked about him as well.
Yeah, I think
Is that somebody that's a regular or something?
Yeah,
Johnny
Apple
for a good
Pitch is
while.
he's a very cool
Melody
dude.
rocks.
He's a bit like yourself. He's a musician, and he's like he lives out in the country, and you get on with him. He's nice. He's a nice guy.
Well, I'm trying to. Have you had him on before?
Yeah, a lot.
I was thinking. I'm trying to think if I've. Well, I imagine if I've seen him, I probably might recognize him. If he's been on and I've happened to be here.
Big white beard.
Because sometimes
sings, smokes. You know, all kinds of stuff. Got a big white beard. He sings. He smokes. You know.
Oh, then I've seen him. Last year I saw him a time or two when him and Johnny would just be on, like they'd be just talking, or like a time or two they were discussing music and stuff, and then I think I'd be in the chat.
He comes on quite a lot. I haven't seen him in the last few months though. It's just
okay.
Since around like January, early January, he hasn't really been around.
See, that's the thing too, is he does his live shows, but he also will generally record his live shows and post them the next day or 2 days later, you know.
So he hadn't been like active or something, is what you're saying? Or
the last 2 months, maybe.
He lives off grid a little bit though, doesn't he? He's out in a trailer somewhere, I think. He's got like a really cool
no, he's
trailer.
in a house. I think he's in a house.
Oh, he's in a house.
Where he can duck into another room, and he
and
he has all these all these old style films with the tin canisters, right?
Okay.
On eBay.
Like reels, like to play on a projector.
Reels.
And he does like airbrush paintings. He's a good artist.
Great stuff. Great airbrush.
You would think he might have made a post or something, and well, I mean, hopefully nothing's wrong. Well, you said you was going to message him, Don.
Yeah, I just messaged him.
I'm the same way. Like, even if I don't know somebody, like we've never met in person, but we start having a somewhat of a cordial relationship online, whether it be on X or on YouTube, whatever. When I stop seeing activity, I'm going to be concerned. You know what I mean? I think anybody would be like a good person. It's going to be, it might not cross your mind right away, but after a little while, you might be like, you know what? I wonder what's happened to, why haven't they been commenting, or why haven't they? I've had people that just are subscribers that comment all the time, and then they go silent, and I kind of wonder, and I don't have a way, you know what I mean? Sometimes someone's came in and said something after months of being silent, and I'm like, whoa, hey,
you dropped off there. Where'd you go?
Well, it's like people have lives, but I like when you don't have a way of knowing for sure what's going on. Sometimes, especially if you've interacted pretty regular with a person, it's kind of concerning sometimes. Like if I know ahead of time that I'm going to not be able to be active very much, I'd probably tell people, What do you got there, Johnny?
It's your puppies. Cute, isn't they? What breed are they?
Well, you see the mother, and I don't know. She's just whatever.
Some of them look a bit like Rottweilers. The little brown and black.
That red and black one is not a Rottweiler, but because the grandmother of these puppies, which is dead, Ladybird, she was part bulldog, pit bull, not just bull, but pit. She was a mix of a lab and a pit. And she came out a pretty good you know what I mean? Like you had to kind of look at her pretty hard to really see the pit in her, but it was there. Like she was stocky, but she had like more of like a look of a lab to me. And so that was the grandmother to the dog that just had these puppies the mom to that puppy that had these dogs. And then the dog that she got with was just like a kind of a long-haired reddish hair. He was real red and kind of like a farm dog, like maybe an Australian Shepherd mixed with something. You know what I mean? Like he's disappeared. So I thought they would all turn out kind of golden or red because she's kind of got a golden coat and then he was all red. But anyway.
It's always a mix, right? It's always a mixture.
Yeah. And I was glad to see 3 of the black ones because like 2 of them look a lot like Ladybird because they're black and white. And then you got the other one that did have some of the red around its face. And that's probably obviously from like, the dad and hers coats, but it came out well. And they're all cute, but anyway.
I've had a lot of different dogs growing up. I had an English Bull Terrier, Staffordshire Bull Terrier, Staffies. I've got a Jack Russell now, a short-haired Jack Russell.
Oh, cool.
Little bastard he is.
Jack Russells are great.
I like small dogs. Me and when me and my mom had like a Dachshund that lived to be about 13 years old, like I was already out of the house, but mom, the dog just got older. And, every day when my mom would come in from work, the dog would kind of chase the car, but as it got older, it got slower. And she accidentally, but because when she tried, when she tried to pick it up after everything, like when it happened, it was hurt real bad and it bit her. So she basically, but it lived like 13 years.
That's a good life.
Little Dachshund, like it wasn't full blooded. It had a mix of something, but so it wasn't quite as short as a Dachshund, and it wasn't. It had a little bit more fatness to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it wasn't as long, but it still you could tell it had a lot of it in there. That's how. But, so
yeah, I had animals ever since I was a child. Would be some of this at first, and flea market around here, right? It's like I brought you some birds. I was like, oh, now I got to take care of some birds, whatever, right? And then let's go look through the flea market, and then here's some purebred Dalmatians, right? There's Dalmatian, whatever. And
I'm gonna close my front door real quick. Oh yeah. Oh.
I'm looking through some haikus I had Chat GPT try to help me with.
Ow, ankle. Hey, Johnny, this is kind of fun. Just like a nice little lax stream. Like I got to figure out like at some point, this going in later into 25, I want to eventually, because I'm just starting to kind of getting back in the groove of like, streaming on my channel and being comfortable with it. But I want to move to where like at some point I can have people, download StreamYard and get it all set up. Whether
I don't normally have like an agenda set out on my show, unless it's a special show like the Top Hat Club or something where I've got things planned. Like Scab Cast, just me chilling out talking to mates really most of the time. That's how I like it.
Oh, we like it too.
Yeah, but it is not, like I like when you have like specific, like it might not be like when you've asked somebody specifically, like when you had Jim on and you scheduled it, and like I watched that, like I was there almost the entire time on that one, and you know what I mean?
I still do ones like that, but if I'm doing a show that's specifically focused on one person, I'll call it like Johnny Talks With or something. Like,
Right.
do an interview with just that one person. I've got a few of them coming up. I've been messaging a few different artists and different people. I'm trying to plan them out throughout the year.
You know what? I don't mean to. I don't mean to. You got somebody that pays you something there?
That's
What's
Dennis
that?
Rodriguez. He's renewed his membership, I think, or that's his
okay.
membership chat.
I didn't know
He's
if
been
you
a member
needed to say.
for 7 months. Him, Patrick Quinlan, Katie did, and Mr. Self-Destruct's been a long-standing member as well. I've got loads of quite a lot of long members.
But
thank you.
I didn't mean I wanted to point that out before talking because I seen it. It looked like it was something special there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like what it was showing up.
Yeah, I do try to take notice is when people do super chats and stuff. It is very appreciated. Bob Rogers gifted 5 memberships earlier. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, I heard you talking about that. Like I was looking down, but I heard you announce that. I thought that was pretty cool.
Although I do my YouTube channel, I try to keep the prices at the minimum. Like my membership prices are the lowest they can be. So if people join my channel, it's only like $1 or $1.99 or something. I don't charge like $5 for members.
What, $50 a month or something?
Yeah. I don't see the point, especially I'm trying to get some more members content up as well. But at the minute, I couldn't justify charging people $5 for what they're getting. I'm not that sort of man. I appreciate them just being members, to be honest.
Well, just being in the chat, even, you know.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah.
I mean, you're one of the few people who I'm aware of is just happy to be here, just happy to have a chat with whoever wants to come in. Not like like having an agenda, right?
I think that's cool.
Nice sometimes. It's more like just a video call, isn't it, really, that people can watch. Got no, like, we haven't got together before the show and plan what we're going to talk about. I think sometimes that gets boring. It's all right if you're doing something like the Comics Gate Commandos where you're promoting things and stuff because you're kind of doing it for a good cause. But if it's just focusing on one like drama situation or something, like you said, only Ethan can really pull that off and get away with it. Like it's hard for other people to do it without looking like they're copying that format. It's like it gets boring. People don't want to hear about all the arguing all the time.
Yeah, Ethan's probably the only one I really cover that I watch some. You know, like I don't watch every single thing, but like probably a few times a week at least I tune in at some point on a trash cast, just checking it out. You know what I mean? But
that's the thing with Ethan. He's honest. He's honest about it. You know that he's monetizing the drama, and he tells that to people. And if people still choose to watch him and send him super chats, that's on them, isn't it? He's being very honest about it. He literally calls it trash cast. So he's like,
yeah,
and he's even went through a few variations. At one point, he was. I know that he kind of
love
like,
cast.
Yeah, you know, like.
Oh God.
But oh, you know, I had something interesting happen yesterday when I was streaming. I had shared. Like I'm into a lot of different music, you know what I'm saying? So like I like a lot of heavy stuff personally, but I'm into a lot of genres. Like I like some of the country rap style stuff that's out, like Brian Upchurch and stuff and things like that. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about, but recently I've discovered another artist that's like a country singer / he does country, and he does like a, mixture of hip hop. But I just kind of came across him and I shared a couple of his videos yesterday to my YouTube channel. Not like he's some big artist. He's an independent artist, but he's kind of established and he's growing, right? Well, I shared those in my community and then I went live yesterday, like for a little while. And like, he popped in my chat just to tell me he appreciated it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to, it was pretty cool just to have someone like, I just happened to be like in the past week discover him. I'm like, man, I like what dude does, because I actually found him through a video of him talking about a certain situation rather than his music. Like in the video, I could just see that he was like he's a young dude, but he was speaking with some integrity, and that's what drove me to go, hey, I'm going to check out his music, because what he's saying was real, you know. And then I liked what I heard, so I subscribed, and then I was like, you know, when I get a chance, especially someone that's like independent, like he's not like, you know what I'm saying? Like he made a video just last day or two stating that that he was making it clear that he don't want to be signed. Like he wants to try to do, like some of his favorite artists have made it without having to sign that deal and do that route. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I say that's the way you should go. If you can and have that ability, you can grow your own audience if you're any good at anything. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to take over your screen,
No,
Johnny.
that's amazing to hear. That's amazing to hear he showed up in your chat.
Yeah, I just thought it was cool. You know, he's not like a big channel, but he's at 3,000. You know what I mean? Like I'm only 1,000 some, but he's a little bit bigger. He's been doing some music for a while. I'm just discovering him, but it was like the fact that he took the time to say, come in the chat even and just say, I appreciate it. And I was like, I don't know if it helps any, but actually a couple of people in the chat had already watched his videos and were like, hey,
yeah.
So I was like, hey, I did kind of like bring a few people to him, you know? So
yeah,
like
that's
like
what
we
I thought
can't
this was all
always
about,
share
you know, promoting indie, you know.
yeah, like when I get done, I don't know if I'm subscribed to you, Mr. I'm assuming you're a channel too, right?
Yeah, I don't really do it. What? Yeah, what am I? I'm Rev.
Well, I didn't mean to sound stupid, man. I'm just saying I didn't, because some people sometimes don't actually have a channel, but they might do streams. And stuff.
You're asking if Mr. Self-Destruct makes content, aren't you? If he posts anything, or
because if he does, then I'll get. You know what I'm saying? When we're done, I would go and check it out and subscribe just to be like.
I always subscribe to people anyway. If they subscribe to me on YouTube, I just sub back to them automatically normally, even if they don't post anything. You'll notice.
Well, I've started
with some people. I'm like one of their only subscribers. They got like 2 or 3 subscribers.
Well, I found that I started doing that because if sometimes there's people that subscribe to me and I want to tag them in my community. And like, if you're not subscribed to them, you can't, like I noticed I couldn't make it come up. You know what I mean? So there's people that don't put nothing out, but they're regulars to my videos. So like I'll subscribe to them so that when something comes up and I want them to know about it, like specifically, you know what I mean? Like a shout out or something.
And a lot of people.
Oh yeah, Eric July. Hey, I might have a beard, but I ain't fucking Eric July. I'm not, you know, I'm not trying to be a white hair. Like I tried to tip, you know, like last year I dipped my toe into making a few little things and comments and had a little fun, but I was like, at one point I was like, you know, there's so many other people that was jumping in at one point. I was like, fuck, my channel's not, like, I don't really deal with all that. So I was like, I'm not going to I didn't want to start getting into it. And then people come to the channel. And then if I stop making that kind of content, then they're like, what the fuck's wrong with him, man?
Yeah, this is not what I subscribed for. Yeah.
Huh? You know what I mean? Like,
this is not what I subscribed for. Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't want them that's why, like with the second channel over there, I'll probably, it'll be slow, but I told you, Johnny, that's where eventually I will talk about comics and maybe movies and shit like that if I feel the need to, you know. That's where I'll do it. Like I figure that's where I'll give my 2 cents worth. And that way people can know it. They can subscribe to that if that's only what they want to see, like when I start doing that, you know. But it's fun sometimes. I just enjoy watching some of the people, the time that they put into, like, you know, really detracting and shit. It don't seem quite as much nowadays as it was about 6 months ago.
Well, a lot of people jumped in, right? They
Yeah,
they came
it's
they came
kinda-
to Comicsgate because they're like Eric July ripped me off. Basically, I paid for one thing, I got a different thing. You know.
But what do you think about? I think the Gothics chick has kind of it's restirred up some interest. I'm getting a kick out of watching some of that stuff because I think she's handling it pretty well, even though she's, you know what I mean? Like if you watch any of the clips that Katie puts out and stuff like that, it's like she's out handling the people coming in her chat pretty well, you know. Like I'm like, hey,
I'm sure. Yeah.
it's still funny though. Like, come on, Eric.
Eric's
Okay.
just using her, isn't he? He's just using her as a human too.
Well, it's just it's like it's
She's
so that
on-
he don't have to deal with it.
She
See, if
must
he
want
handled it the way she's handling it,
getting
nobody would
paid
have.
a lot of money.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. If he had acted like she's acted now in the beginning, it would have settled down and people would have stopped. You know what I mean? Like if he had just been like, let the shit bounce off of him, but he didn't. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why people tore more and more into it.
Yeah, exactly.
He just kept putting his foot in his mouth, and you can't you can't fix stupid. Now, ignorance sometimes you can correct. If
Yeah,
an ignorant
I've heard
person
that.
is willing to learn, they can. You know, they could correct it, but a stupid person is just stupid. You know, they're born that way.
Ain't no helping them.
Sorry, Johnny. I'm actually having a pretty thank you, man, for letting me put that link there. I'm glad I came in there with me for a minute. But I'll probably get off here.
Born stupid.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like I'm ignorant of a lot of things, but I'm willing to learn. But you know, there are ignorant people they ain't willing to learn, and that's pretty stupid. So, but anyway, yeah.
Dr. Ben's in the chat, and he's an Eagles fan. That's terrible, Ben. And there I was thinking you were a good man. Look, Chiefs all the way. Eagles.
Oh, okay.
Eagles. You're just trying to wind me up. Fucking Eagles. We'll have none of that here, thank you, Ben. Gifted one. Oh, thank you, Mr. Scott.
Nice. Cheers.
Thank you.
Oh,
that's brilliant, mate.
Well, hey, man, I'm gonna get out of here and chill out. I don't know.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks.
I mean, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I just kind of want to get off here for a little while and chill out for a minute. Y'all have a good rest of the day. And Mr. Self-Destruct, I'm gonna be looking for. You're on X too, all right?
Oh yeah.
Well, if I ain't, you know what I mean. Sometimes I forget who the hell. If you're subscribed to Johnny, I can find you there. Or I mean, if you're following him, I'll find you and I'm gonna hit you up. Okay, if I ain't already.
Too hard for us to find each other. Yeah. All right.
Right. Hey, have a good evening, y'all.
Have fun with the puppies.
Okay.
Yeah, take care.
9 puppies.
It's a lot to look after, isn't it?
That's a lot to have to, you have to find somebody decent to take care of them. You know, to sell, I mean, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Sorry,
I think,
video started playing it.
Oh, I think my family was selling the purebred Dalmatian puppies for like 150 or something. Like it wasn't about money. I mean, they were purebred. It would have been at least 700 or whatever, more probably. But
yeah,
that was its own thing. Like no, we were just finding people that people knew that we knew they would be good with, right? We knew they would be well taken care of, and like your service with the oh god, what is it? It's the Protective Society for animals, right? I forget the initials, right? But we have one as well. The ASPCA, the American, Society for the Protection and Care of Animals, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh, Philadelphia. Of course, it makes sense, doesn't it? That's where Ben's from, isn't it? Philadelphia. I'll let you off, Ben. You're rooting for your local team. You're not just doing it to wind me up. But the Chiefs are going to do them. I'm sorry. They're going to destroy you.
You think?
Yeah, I'm a diehard fan. I've got to have my faith. I've got to support them whether I like it or not. Through thick and thin. Oh, man. I've got a little video for you now about English urban legends in the UK. You might find it interesting. It's a lot of creepy ones.
I wouldn't trust this guy.
What, do you know him?
No, I'm just saying it's like he looks like he's gonna sell me something and it's not gonna be good, right?
Yeah, he does look a bit shifty.
Hey, I
bit
got what you need.
cheesy.
Hello everyone, I hope you are ready for this. We're going to be looking at some creepy tales again, and this time it's from my homeland of Britain. It's a place with a lot of history dating back thousands of years, so it makes sense that there would be a lot of scary stories attached to certain places. Which one of these will send a shiver down your spine? Let's find out. My name is Danny Burke, and this is the top 10 scary British urban legends. Starting off at number 10, we have the corpse train. Now, according to London folklore, in the early 1900s, there was a train that ran underneath the city, and it was only for dead people. Back then, London's hospitals and morgues were struggling to deal with the vast amount of people that were dying from poverty and disease. They decided to transport the bodies out of the city, but knew that they couldn't do it overground without disturbing a lot of people. So they used an existing train line to load the bodies onto. The train ran just the other side of a wall from the normal daily service, where unsuspecting Londoners were getting on and off their trains unaware of the nearby bodies. Next up at number 9 now, we have the suicide pool. This one comes from Epping Forest near Essex. The story goes that years ago, a young couple in love were followed to a pond in the forest by the girl's father. When the couple finally embraced, the father leapt from the trees to confront the boy. The fight got out of hand, and the father ended up killing the boy in a rage at the edge of the pool. The waters then turned black. Wildlife that was touching the water died instantly. In the years that followed, bodies started to appear in the water. First, it was an old woman, then a young one with her young child beside her. They say the pool drew them into their death, and that the pool is still out there in the forest somewhere, waiting for its next victim. Next up at number 8 now, we have Annie. This one comes from Edinburgh, Scotland. In the old town there lies a street known as Mary King's Close. It's steeped in myths and legends of hauntings and murders. In 1990,
I was saying, I wonder if it's a specific location, this suicide pool, this drowning pool that draws people in. I wonder if that's a specific area or if it just kind of like, mystical, right? Just kind of pops up here and there, following ley lines or energy or something. Yeah. Interesting stuff. I like urban legends.
A psychic called Aiko Gibo visited and felt a small hand touch hers. She said that she then made contact with the spirit of a dead child called Annie, who had died in a plague hundreds of years ago and had lost her doll. The psychic then went to a nearby shop and brought back a Barbie doll for her. Now, since then, visitors leave dolls for Annie, and a mountain of them has built up in the dark. Moving on to number 7 now, we have the Faceless Woman. This one comes from the borough of Barking in London. There you can find Beacon Tree Station, home to the Faceless Woman. The most famous sighting of her happened in 1992. A station supervisor reported that on one night, he heard the handle of his office door rattle. Outside on the platform stood a woman. She had blonde hair, she wore a very pale dress, and just stared into the distance. The supervisor approached her, but as he reached out, she turned to him only to reveal she had no face, just darkness where there should be one. Local ghost hunters claim that she is the victim of a train crash that happened there in 1958, which killed 10 people. At number 6 now, we have the Beast. England's Hackney Marshes is known for its sprawling woodland and boggy reed marshes, often covered in swirling fog, the perfect setting for this urban legend. The story goes that in 1980, 2 bear carcasses were found in the river. They had been decapitated. People started speculating about who or what could cut a bear's head clean off its shoulders. Then, a year later, 4 boys were taking a walk along the marsh one winter morning when they saw it through the trees. They described it as a giant, great, growling, hairy thing. As soon as it saw them, it reared up on its back legs and let out a deafening roar. The boys ran, but the story remains always in the back of people's minds as they trudge through the marsh. We're returning now to the London Underground for our number 5 with The Crying Girl. On November 18th, 1987, a match was dropped on an escalator at London's King Cross station. A fire quickly spread into the nearby ticket office, which resulted in the death of 31 people. In the years since then, passengers have reported seeing a girl who died around the station. She has long brown hair, wears jeans and a t-shirt, and is always crying. Some people have even reported hearing her sobs while smelling smoke coming out from the escalators. Back to Scotland now for our number 4 with Sawney Bean. This is the gruesome tale of Alexander Sawney Bean, a man who was said to be the head of a Scottish clan of cannibals in medieval times. According to legend, the group was made up.
This one's more than a myth. They've actually got like historical evidence about this guy. This is actually real.
It's a whole group too.
Of his wife, their 4 children and 32 grandchildren, some of whom were born through incest. They lived in a cave by the water and would ambush people on the road at night. They would bring their bodies back to the cave to then dismember and eat them. Any leftovers were pickled in a jar for later. When King James VI of Scotland eventually heard of these murders, he led a manhunt to capture them. The clan was caught and then executed. Some people say you can still find the cave along the Benane Head area of Scotland. Moving on to number 3 now, we have Cane Hill. Some say this is one of the most haunted places in England. It was a mental asylum for over 100 years, from 1882 to 1991. It built up a reputation for abandoning some of its patients, hiding them away from the public eye, and never truly helping them. Some people say the patients who died left their energy behind there because of their tortured lives. The building was gutted by a mysterious fire in 2010. Perhaps the scariest stories of all are of the faces appearing by the burnt out windows. Next up at number 2 now, we have the House of the Screaming Skull. This one comes from Bettiscombe Manor in Dorset, England. The legend goes that in 1830, a man lived there called John Frederick Pinney. He had a slave that he had brought back from the Caribbean island of Nevis. The man became ill, and on his deathbed, he swore he would never rest unless his body was returned home to Nevis. Pinney refused to pay for that expense, and when he died, he had the man buried in the local graveyard. After that, ill fortune began to plague the village for months. Screams and cries were heard from the cemetery. At the manor house, windows rattled and doors kept slamming. The body was dug up and brought to the manor house, where today only the skull remains, where it's said to haunt the manor, but the village remains safe. And finally, number 1 now, we have the Hellhounds. Dartmoor is a vast, rocky, windy and mysterious part of England. It's popular among tourists, but everyone who goes there is aware of the legend of the Hellhounds. It's said that a pack of these ghost dogs wanders the moors at night, preying on sheep, and they're not afraid of humans. They've often been described as cat-like, but with the frame of a bear, and very fast. There have been pictures and film taken of them over the years that claim to show glimpses of these hellhounds in action. Many of the locals don't even need that though. They've heard the stories handed down from generation to generation. Some of them even say they've seen the hounds with their own 2 eyes. Great stories. I want to talk about more of them, but next time I want them to be from other countries. We've done a few of them now, but there's plenty more countries out there. Where are you guys from? Does your country...
I watched a bit of an Amazon thing. I think it was called Urban Legends. It's one of those actresses from the 90s as a host, you know?
Yeah.
Just presenting various stories and such. And it's like one of them was I don't know, they weren't that great, but it's like, I don't know, I'm not blanking on the story. I'm just trying to figure out how to phrase it, but it's not very important stuff. I mean, not like any of that. That was fucking British cannibals on the roadside, a family of incestuous British cannibals on the roadside, hiding in a cave system, I suppose. And there were 32 of the grandchildren and 14 of, so it's nearly 50 altogether. And you could just find that you could just be mobbed and disappear.
There's quite a lot of documentaries about it. The cannibal families, they lived in a cave, and they used to literally go out and kidnap people off the roads and just eat them, take them back, feed their family,
and pickle the rest of them in jars.
Yeah, they survived for a few years before the king hunted them down. But we're talking about the times when like guns were just coming into fashion, like that sort of era.
Oh, okay.
Muskets and pistols and stuff.
See, have you seen the movies? What is it? Wrong Turn.
Yeah, they reckon that was one of the inspirations for Wrong Turn.
And
apparently.
the United States is way bigger, right? And though I think it's set in the Appalachian Mountains or the Appalachian Trail.
Yeah.
And there are people there who have no idea what has happened in the last 100 years of America.
It's basically like Sturgis's home movies, isn't it?
God, man.
Wrong Turn.
He what did he say? I don't know. Pranvat Gulati reposted on Twitter. He's like, the Sturgis was going to meet the Saska twins, right? And he's like, I'm coming to see you girls, and I'm bringing my Yaira books. I'm like, that's a fucking horror movie waiting to happen. It's a body horror movie waiting to happen. And that's what they're into, right? Body horror. Sewing things shut and whatever.
Yeah.
This is crazy stuff. It's like, why am I even aware of someone like Sturgis?
Yeah, he's just a super fan, isn't he? He's a little cuck.
Yeah.
Ripper. What do you think about the Ripperverse Studios? Do you think he's got an animation studio?
In Texas, not possible. I mean, they could do some what do you call them, like character sheets and such, just this is how we want the characters to look. These are, by our artists. Then they'll ship it to South Korea to be done. I mean, if they want to call that a studio, they did say they planned on doing animation, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what the hell are they going to animate? Like a bunch of asshole characters,
As you guys know, I'm very involved with the Ripperverse. I'm not an owner that just lays back and lets everybody else kind of do the work for me. But as we've expanded to increase our productivity, our team has grown. And when it comes to doing Ripperverse video content, look, I need some help. Plus, you're probably tired of seeing my face all the time anyway. Though some of my old friends are very prominent social and political commentators like me, many of them are very creative, talented people. And let's be honest, talking about politics can be very boring and mind-numbing. That's partially why everybody is required to leave it at the door here at the Ripperverse.
I'm like, can he?
That's before the trim.
It's all fuzzy.
That is a grotty. That is a grotty.
It bugs
beard,
me.
Isn't it? Look at it.
It bugs me because that's exactly how his shoulder is. Look,
Yeah,
and his
but
back
he's got like little loose.
Yeah,
bits.
that's what I'm saying. They're coming out
snip
like an
off
inch.
with
Yeah. You're gonna make a YouTube video. You make 3-something million on your first comic, right? And you want to have a presentation of, maybe you hire a personal stylist, right? Or maybe you just take a little, a little trim, like you said, little scissors before you make a video.
That face is that, I don't know. That just imprints into your memory. It's like a face only a mother could love, isn't it?
Oh man,
I do feel sorry for Eric a little bit. Like he genuinely doesn't know how thick he is. I don't think. I think like he thinks that he's intelligent, and he thinks that everyone saying he's not intelligent are just bullying him.
Yeah.
If I can bring my more creative old friends into this space just to have some fun, that's what I'm going to try to do. Without further ado, join me to welcome our latest team member. I'll just have her introduce herself.
Hey everyone, my name is Vanessa, though some of you already know me as Gothix. I'm an online content creator who's done everything from
has nice
streaming
teeth.
video games to making political commentary. And while I love sharing my various hot takes on current events, it doesn't exactly scratch that creative itch I've always had. So when Eric reached out and invited me to join the Rippaverse team, naturally I had to say yes. I mean, come on, it's not every day someone you know.
She looks like a typical SJW as well, doesn't she? She's got that nose ring.
No, she has nicer teeth.
Yeah, probably nicer teeth, but
So she's more put together.
the collar,
but,
the nose ring, that weird earring, it's too much.
The makeup, the side cut, all that stuff.
All she needs is like blue hair.
Ends up creating their own comic book company and then ask you to be a part of it. I am beyond excited to be a part of this journey, and I am looking forward to connecting with all of you.
I'm so excited to have Vanessa here with us. You'll be seeing her in many different videos, streams, and updates. You all know how I feel about the future of American entertainment. Commentary and critiquing.
Gay.
Oh, here's the studios one now.
What's that?
There was the studios one.
Yeah, I got it. Let's have a look at that.
You just mentioned it.
Supercut.
I do think
animated
Gothix is
trailer
like.
so far.
I think Gothix is like late 30s, and she's had a kid, because I think she was. I watched like 4 or 5 videos with her, and she became pregnant at some point, and she was talking about my husband, and people super chatting her kind of. I mean, she does handle, like you said, she handles herself well with like, I don't know if you want to call it aggressiveness or something, right?
Yeah.
Did you know that the Rippaverse also has an animation division? It's called Rippaverse Studios. So far, we've put out several animated trailers for our books, but if you'd love to see us take it a step further with a full animated series, consider becoming a Rippaverse member at rippaverse.com. For just $5 a month, you can become a Rippaverse member, and every tier comes with awesome perks that keep growing. Just getting familiar with the Rippaverse? Well, here's a supercut of all of our animated trailers so far.
Time is a fascinating thing. We often like to think of it as something that just is. But too many people let the past determine who they are. When true greatness is determined by how one deals with the present. So if I'm helping you, I have something to do. Yeah.
Blood on the cross.
No more quitting. Time is a gift, I say. What are you gonna do with yours?
Fluorspark can be an unpredictable city. Affluency doesn't mitigate its problems.
Think that's a good voice?
In some ways, it amplifies them. This.
Do you reckon that's Eric doing that voice? Just putting on a deeper voice.
He's definitely
This is
hired.
why we're deployed.
He definitely hires someone. Like no visual appeal, at all.
But we've seen better days.
Then why are we just now debriefing?
This mission is not complete.
I only know of her. Our lack of data collection is a problem.
Valdez, I'm aware of your investigative talents. Braxwell spoke highly of you, and that's why you're on this team.
Oh, it's so rigid.
Local law enforcement handles itself very well. But there are those with
fighting the apes from hell.
Some believe themselves to be good. Others don't even attempt to act as if they are. Either way, we're involved. Not everyone will agree with our status. But that can be said for anything. May I remind you both, we're Alpha Core, and failure is not what we do.
It's what we are.
Be great.
This woman is dangerous, reckless, and far too carefree. Power that even others. Sorry. Interesting. What the hell is this crazy woman up to? Time to earn our paycheck. See you soon. Yeah, right.
Oh, she just killed those people. Murder has become way too common in
Who the hell is this guy? What's he want? Where's he come from? After every soldier I have with him and he kicks their ass. Outman.
Oh, this is the horse gun.
Yeah. Dr. Ben's favorite character.
And he walks away clean. With my money. Now, what are y'all gonna do about that?
Dr. Ben.
Turn us loose, Tuna.
Let us do what we do.
Oh man. Such an awkward animation style.
Yeah. And the voices just sounded cheap, didn't they? They weren't like the voiceovers weren't even proper.
That one guy, I guess that's Solari or whatever, right? In the green suit, the Superman type guy. He's it's like, this is a very deep Southern Texan accent. I work on the farms and the fields, and I just want to let y'all know failure is not something we do. It's what we are. I mean, I think they let a giant, like they had some floating thing in like the upper atmosphere or something, and they put in a USB, right? And here it came crashing down. I only know that because I watched part of Ethan's. I don't know. He would give whatever he would ask the chat. Like, if you want me to review this, that'll be $2,000 in super chats. And then here comes a fucking super chats like rolling in. It's like, this is a professional artist, 30-something years of experience, What's up, Grey Wolf?
Yeah.
30-something years of experience. $2,000 to have them review your stuff. It's not much.
Yeah, agreed. It's got quite a lot of stuff on his channel. I don't subscribe to the Rippaverse, but I'm looking at it now. It's all pretty shit, isn't it? New Year, new Bruce Lee anatomy.
Bruce Lee?
Yeah, Bruce Lee anatomy. Oh, it's a live stream. Some sort of live stream with all his goons on there.
A lot of goons around.
Yeah. Little. Eric seems to attract them, doesn't he? I'm quite shocked because for someone who's so like anti-white, who doesn't like white people, he got a lot of white fans, so they must be pretty like dumb, really.
I kind of put them as like, he attracts a certain crowd. I used to follow Eric for a while before his comic came out. Once his comic came out, it was, I was laughing at the stuff he did, right? I was laughing at his monetize your haters stuff, just aggressively shutting people down and all that stuff. And then he applied it to people trying to say, you can better your art this way. He's like, no, that's hate, right? That's hate. You saying I can better myself.
He's got this video, right? He's got this video that I made a dance track out of it, and it's literally just him having a go at some half-caste kiddie, some light-skinned black guy, saying you're not even black. You
have black. You have
white.
black. I ain't trying to hear what you say. You're talking about your half white.
No one could pass as white. Wow. Fucking is well racist, and I don't get why people ain't seen it.
Trying to take like some sort of credit from an experience that you never fucking had in the first goddamn place. You grew up in an era that you didn't have to experience jack shit in comparison to even me.
I've been called the N word more times than you can count. What the fuck is you on?
All right. So all right. What are you mixed? Are you mixed?
Yeah. I am.
That's
too hilarious. He just gets up. He has to laugh.
That is an overreaction to me. Like
it's too hilarious.
Whoever he's talking to is obviously like mixed race. They've obviously got a black parent, and they've probably like got a white parent or a light skinned parent.
And honestly, when you're mixed, you don't fit in with either. Exactly.
Eric's just got a thing against white people. I think he's secretly like black power. He's like one of those black power people.
I wonder.
Every goddamn time, every fucking time is some light-skinned cat trying to over exaggerate his blackness, and he's sitting here going on this damn tangent. Hold on, so you mean to tell me this whole time we talking about this, you just as much white as you is black? All right, that whole comment, you overcompensated. We're done with that. Let's get back to that. Let's get back to the April. We're done with that. I'm not arguing with no light-skinned cat. No, I'm not arguing with no cat that's passing for nobody that can pass for white. I'm not no. No cat passing for white is about to sit up here and lecture me on being called the fucking N-word. Get out of my face.
Yeah, that's disgusting behavior.
It is pretty bad, isn't it? And that's up there still. That's on his. That's like he's not even tried taking that down. I don't know if that's his channel actually. I have to have a look. But
could be a little clip channel or something of his own.
When I saw the photos of his convention and I saw all the white people there, I thought, you sad people. Like he hates you. He's literally using you. It's his channel. It's Young Ripper. He kept that up. That's one of his own videos. He's proud of that.
So he's proud of that. Yes. Yeah, and that was one of the monetize your haters thing where he would get super chats from his fans, right? $50 just to say this, and then he would do the shout out, right? That's it. But no, man. But once he started talking about his comic book, I'm like, wait, there's a lot. This guy's a $3 bill. He's phony.
7 of 9 wants your act. He wants to stalk you.
I put it in the chat. Just rev self-destruct. I'm going to be a reverend one day. And I have that Universal Life Church link that you said
Yeah,
you're
do
a
it.
ordained minister now. I'm like, yeah, I can see myself doing that.
It's worth a go. It's good. You can actually use the title as well if you just want to play it. 709 just followed you. That sounds ominous.
Yes, it does.
Ripper
Just
needs
followed
a
you, and
side.
I will be following you into the woods later. Something.
He could sell his shoulder hair to make Brillo pads.
Oh, that's rough. Oh, it's crazy, man. Yesterday it was like 80 degrees in February. 80 degrees in
Wow.
February, and then it dropped down to like 40.
I wish it was that warm in England. It's fucking horrible here. It's like the coldest part of the year, January and February in England. If you ever come over here, don't come in January or February. It's just disgusting. You freeze your bollocks off.
January, February. Yeah, I can advise you similar. Like if you ever come to the South, it's like June, July, August, maybe even September are kind of like no-goes. It's like 100 degrees, 105, 110, 115 some places. Kind of ridiculous. My cousin got back from Iraq at some point, and he's like, it's about the same temperature over there. Like, damn.
I can just about manage like Spanish heat, which is like usually in the 30s, like 30 degrees or something. That's about enough for me.
And you're saying actually like Spain, right?
Yeah, I go there quite a lot. When I do go on holiday, when I get a chance, I like to go to Spain. It's nice. And they've got they legalized weed over there now, so it's just like Amsterdam. You can go and buy it in cafes and stuff.
Yeah, nice. I would be in a fucking haze the whole time, If I went to someplace like that.
The heat really hits you as well, because obviously I'm used to smoking in England where it's quite cold and mild weather. But when you're out in the blazing sun and you're getting high, it's like, whoa.
Start sweating like crazy.
Yeah.
I learned my lesson not to do that when I was working construction. I'm working construction. I'm like 19 or something. And I was like, hey, let's do all this and this and this. I need you to do this and this. And I like just got done smoking with, a couple of the other guys back there. And I'm like, holy shit. It's, the sun is just blinding. The sun is white hot, just beaming down. I was a little darker skinned then, right? So I could take it a little bit better. But now if I'm out in the sun like that, I'll start to feel my skin burning like in little spots. I'll be like, yeah, that's going to leave a mark. It leaves little heat rash things, I'm like, damn, that's crazy.
I'd need to dress like Michael Jackson if I come to America like that. I'd have like a bandana and
the full mask, the glasses, gloves,
fedora hat with an umbrella. So I'll have someone holding my umbrella.
Yes.
Like Diddy. When Diddy had a little manservant. Do you remember that? He had a little guy.
I believe I do. I don't remember names, but I remember seeing it, Yeah, that's crazy. That'll be Patrick holding your umbrella for you. Be walking alongside you.
Dave Chappelle done a clip about it. It was
oh God.
It was good. Diddy, Dave Chappelle, I'll find it.
I might watch out. For playing Comedy Central clips.
Oh, do they?
I don't know. I'm just saying they're very big. They're like MTV. If you, I don't know.
Yeah, true. I bet they'll show it actually. But yeah, look it up. It's called The Chappelle Show: Making the Band Uncensored.
Oh yeah. God, man, no, those were good times, man. Dave Chappelle,
Yeah, Farnsworth Bentley. That is it. Farnsworth Bentley. That was his gay butler that used to follow him around with his umbrella.
I didn't know. I didn't know what Nada was talking about.
A lot of people think that he was his personal drug dealer as well. That he used to carry his drugs around for him.
They're also Yeah, you know, there are
Probably
also like
procured children and women for him.
there's like a CIA connection in with a lot of these music industry types, right? Like they'll get them any drugs they want, and whatever you need to keep producing, and then it's outsourced, 2-3 steps, and then it's CIA type stuff. It's like, oh yeah, this came straight from Colombia. Just flew in last night. It's like, well, how did this get here? Or here's the purest uncut, whatever, all of that shit. It's like, yeah, that was federal.
Farnsworth Bentley. I'm gonna have to look him up now. There must be a video that I can show of him. Farnsworth.
It's a unique name. Yeah, I thought that could have been like a fucking futuristic car or something. Because of Futurama, that's why I was thinking that Dr. Farnsworth was like drives a Bentley or something,
Yeah. There's loads of stuff about him, but they ain't got any clips of him with Diddy anymore. He must have had them all took down. Oh, there is one. P. Diddy says he treated Farnsworth Bentley like a girl.
Shit.
Oh. Here we are. Let's watch this. The art of dialogue. I don't think I'll get struck for playing this. Hopefully, I don't think it's a big channel, but I'll try. Do you know that the last show that you came on, the Johnny Talks Jive?
Yeah,
it got taken down. I couldn't put it up because I played the Ramones on it, and Universal took my music rights, and they struck me. Bastards,
really?
didn't they?
So it wasn't just a plain. Oh, it's
no.
not.
I looked at why they took it down, and they blocked it worldwide.
Jesus.
Blocked it worldwide because of the Ramones.
It's copyright Nazis, man.
Yeah.
Treated him like a girl for holding.
Yeah, I would too. But in the last interview we did, you was telling me about how he treated Farnsworth and Harv Pierre like one of his bitches. If you don't mind, can you go more into detail about that? Like, detail a time or two where he did that to him.
Every day. It's just the way he talked. You ever seen the clip how he talked to Lorianne Gibson one day? He was snapping on her. He was like, I don't give a like, yo, they don't want your input. This ain't the time for your input. Ain't no interjections. That's how he talk. That's how he talk to them niggas. Farnsworth Bentley. More so than Harv. Like I've never really I've seen Harv submit, put it like that. I seen Harv, a real gangster nigga when he around me, turn into it's on camera. I got it on my page. Go look at it. It's a video. Well, it's a joking video, but it's a video we all sitting at the table and Diddy telling Chopper about length. And look at Harv. She look like, I'm like, yo, this ain't the nigga I know. When he around me, this nigga got into real serious wordplay, like threats. I know, like, you about to be about that life you talking, you know what I'm saying? And I know, like, stories of him getting into, like, he got hands. Then when you see him around Diddy, you like, who is this man?
Oh,
he talked to him like girls, man. I won't go there with Farnsworth because it was so many incidents. It was just a regular, just the way they carried themselves. It's Nick holding the umbrella for you, and
a lot of people say that Diddy was bi, don't they? That he had men and women.
Him just talking to you any kind of way. Hey, yo, you don't talk with
you. What?
I heard Diddy would call up some people, right? Because call up his N-word, right? Call him up and say, hey, I'm about to fuck this bitch. You want to come watch? And have 4, 5, 6, who knows how many guys around watching, and then he's turning around and looking at them and making eye contact with them and saying, oh, you like that? You like kind of as if, do you like what you see? Because you can get it too, right? That's the implication to me. That's what I'm like, whoa, this is but even if it, even if that was a lie, I could totally see that being real, right? I don't know. The person has, well, I mean, I don't know what all truth there is to everything that has been said, right? I mean, there's probably some person's page where they debunk, like, oh yeah, this one did turn out to be false, but this one was still unverified, right? Stuff like that. But no, and he's just one character in the music industry. He's I think he's probably catching all this flack, right? Catching all this attention because he's an artist, right? He's on, even though I think he's a shit artist, right? He's at the forefront of his own image, right? Whereas someone who's like a producer, who's most assuredly doing the same shit, or a Hollywood director, right? They're not going to be discovered doing any of this shit. They're not going to be put on blast on whatever, right? And then that's what it turned out to be with what was it? The guy that directed X-Men 1 and 2, I think. It's like he was having all these parties and young boys, right? I mean, teenagers, right? It's like, oh yeah, you can come to the party, but the rule is everybody has to get in the hot tub. Shit like that. And it's like, oh, you can't wear your clothes if you're in the hot tub. And
proper groomers.
Allegedly, right? Allegedly. I guess. I don't know if the dude was convicted or whatever. It's another thing. I mean, it's legal.
I'm gonna have to end the show soon, mate. Thank you for coming on. And thank you everyone in the chat for watching. Thank you for all that. I'll just look at it. We got the memberships from Bob there. Look, thank you, Bob. A membership from Mr. Self-Destruct. Dennis Rodriguez's message. Thank you everyone for supporting me and coming on the channel. And Mr. Self-Destruct's awesome as well. Always go and watch the Comics Gate Commandos.
Thank you. Thank you.
We got peace. Right. I'll catch you soon then, Mr. Self-Destruct. Thank you everyone in the chat. Take care. Adios.
Hey, I just want to say goodbye. Goodbye to the people who hated on me. Goodbye to the people who loved me. Goodbye to the people who trusted me. Goodbye, goodbye to everybody.
Goodbye to the people who hated on me. Goodbye to the people who loved me. Goodbye to the people who trusted me. Goodbye, goodbye to everybody.
Now I need some changes in my life. Now I need to move on in life. Now it's time to say goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye to everybody.
Goodbye to the people who hated on me. Goodbye to the people who loved me. Goodbye to the people who trusted me. Goodbye, goodbye to everybody. Goodbye to the people who hated on me. Goodbye to the people who loved me. Goodbye to the people who trusted me. Goodbye, goodbye to everybody.
I'm thinking deeply right now. My life with you, it's like ow, but I don't know how to explain this. I don't know why it's happening to me, but I just realize I'm not the person I used to be. Now I just wanna leave this city. This bullshit is not gonna happen again.
Goodbye to the people who hated on me. Goodbye to the people who loved me. Goodbye to the people who trusted me. Goodbye, goodbye to everybody. Goodbye to the people who hated on me. Goodbye to the people who loved me. Goodbye to the people who trusted me. Goodbye, goodbye to everybody.
I'm leaving. Good. life is short. Don't waste time worrying about me. Hold on the ones that care for you. In the end, they will be there for you. One day, I'll make it top of the world. Our memories will be swelled. And I'm all aware. And this is the side of goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye to everybody.
Goodbye to the people who hated on me. Goodbye to the people who loved me. Goodbye to the people who trusted me. Goodbye, goodbye to everybody. Goodbye to the people who hated on me. Goodbye to the people who loved me. Goodbye to the people who trusted me. Goodbye, goodbye to everybody.
Goodbye to the people who hated on me. Goodbye to the people who loved me. Goodbye to the people who trusted me. Goodbye, goodbye to everybody.